In a country rich with natural resources and potential, the youth of Zimbabwe are standing up and making their voices heard. They are at the forefront in terms of leading to transform their nation's energy landscape, paving the way for a sustainable and prosperous future. In this groundbreaking documentary, we delve into the inspiring stories of these young change makers as they participate in the International Renewable Energy Agency I ACT Training, a program that empowers and equips them with the knowledge and skills necessary to drive the adoption of renewable energies.
If we look at the amount of money that governments, that industry, that statement, governments still subsidize fossil fuels, that's very true. They don't only subsidize, but they invest in fossil fuels, in those forms of energy. The amount of money that's being pumped into those things, if governments were to de-invest in fossil fuels, we could literally, as Zimbabwe on its own, if our government was to de-invest in fossil fuels, there would be an increase in the investment in renewable energy for communities and also organizations that work to target renewable energy. For example, if money is to come from the highest level, let's talk from the GCF itself, and if they're going to release funds that are meant to target renewable energy in Africa, the amount of money that is going to trickle from the GCF to the government of a country, for example, the government of a country then engages organizations, so more money is trickling down. By the time that money reaches the small level organization that is there in Mashingo, I'm currently based in Mashingo, so by the time money trickles down to the small organization in Mashingo, the amount of money that is going to then reach there will be enough to only install one little solar panel for a little bore pump in the middle of a community. But the amount of money that could have actually reached that community was going to be enough probably to put a solar panel that can light up, only for lights, for an entire space. So it is a money-making scheme. I am telling you, the world of climate finance is fascinating. The amount of money that is not going to these things is insane. It's crazy. So I think it's not a myth. I think it's very much a fact.
Truth be told, renewable energy is very, very expensive. I'm happy she's talking about the solar system. If any of us here, how many do we have solar systems? To actually have a proper solar system to use here in Zimbabwe, you're literally looking at least not less than $10,000 for you to have a proper solar system that will literally accommodate all the appliances that you use. And even if you do get that solar system, we are saying in the next 5 to 6 months, you likely need new batteries. I've experienced this. So again, it's very, very expensive. And again, we are not supposed to take the burden of the global north countries who are literally causing us to be in this mess. For us to literally experience this climate crisis because of the global north. So we should be making noise for the global north to literally adopt renewable energy. And they should stop teaching us or coaching us to say adopt renewable energy. Because Africa has to industrialize. We need to mine, we need to get the resources so that we can, we can improve our economies, we can build our infrastructure. Maybe when we are in that position, maybe we can start looking at saying, okay, fine, let's adopt renewable energy. Because right now, if we say that we are banning all the fossil fuels, we are banning petrol, diesel, what's going to happen? If petrol prices go up, just like right now, fuel is costing around $1.55, $1.55. If right now the price of petrol goes to $2, this country will be ungovernable. People are going to the streets say, fuel prices are going up and all that, and all that, and all that. But here we are talking and saying that we need to stop fossil fuels. So in as much as we want to adopt renewable energy, we need to be frank with our approach and try to shift our attention on pressuring the global north and also make it clear to them that we have key issues like climate finance, loss and damage, where we really need them to literally, activate the finance that we really need, maybe to be able to adapt to this climate crisis. So, yes, of course, most people would call me or others climate deniers, but truth be told, Africa is suffering, Africa is begging. We really need the resources for us to adopt.
But to what? You don't have to mind, like you say. We don't have accreditation, like she's saying. So we are depending on fossil fuels. They also want our fossil fuels. Why do we have investors coming in Zimbabwe? Why do we have investors going to one day where we have the coal? So we can end fossil fuels, yes, but let's be realistic about this whole issue. There needs to be a balance about it.
So is remain under the influence of Congress of the global north. It's a policy issue really, that our policies are not as strong and sound as they are supposed to be. And even when they are sound, the way we implement our policies is the one that put us behind. You know, the most dangerous thing in global economics is a creature called the United States of Africa. When we say Africa cannot fund, then we are wrong. Africa is the richest global power. If we really come to it as Africa to say, you know what, enough is enough. We are taking our resources and we really draw the line. Africa has enough resources to fund its own challenges. But it's because, number one, as a people, we are divided. The reason why you see people who invest so many billions and trillions of dollars in Africa to give us debt, to give us this and that, it's a way of trying to manage us. So we always feel like we owe them. So that as a people, we fail to stay united. Because if ever by chance Africa gets united, that is going to be a global disaster because Africa will be the strongest power. So I think that's why you see that we always have a challenge of seeming to be controlled by countries from the global north, because we are not really serious when it comes to implementation of our own policies. You know, we don't manage how our resources are flowing as a country. We don't really manage even the money that is coming through foreign aid, the financial aid that we are receiving. If it's managed properly, it pushes us as a people because we already have the most basic resources. You know, countries like Qatar, places like Qatar, people who don't even have land, people who buy water, people who borrow water, they are rich. But Africa, we have water, we have land, we have people. And the funny part is, wherever you go in this world, you will find Africans.
These things. We put them to the task. Okay, fund research such that our production of energy from coal, it is clean. If not, we continue. We put them to the task. Unless we come up with strategies, solutions, policies that she has suggested, then we won't be able to industrialize. But we are also taking the responsibility to say we also want to participate in cleaner energies. But you also have to play a role. You have developed, you have all the skills, you have all the research, but now play the role. We're going to build a coal station. Your duty is to make sure that the emissions from there are clean. Ours is to get the energy to develop our country. I think that's what we need to do. That's the solution probably we can go for.
Because the majority of the people in Zimbabwe cannot afford even electricity right now. But if you go to the shops, the prices that you see, $10 solar, they are just crazy. So people will use other forms of energy that are available.
That's what's sustainable.
Yeah.
Following the training, a vital question arose. How could these young individuals effectively amplify their voices and leave a lasting impact after the discussions? During this time, Gift Ntuli, a representative from the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, emphasized the importance of the youth gaining insight into global affairs. By understanding what is happening in other countries, they are empowered to think critically, innovate, and devise solutions to address Zimbabwe's energy needs.
What are we going to do after these discussions? What are we going to do as a youth to spread this news? These are the things that we need. What are the strategies that we are going to do so that our voices are there and we make an impact in this discussion?
I heard someone referencing local innovation ecosystems, grassroots-led solutions. When you look at energy, of course there's the mega trends, but the question is always how do you take the mega trends and apply them in a local ecosystem? Zimbabwe, like most African countries, we have different challenges to other parts of the world. And it's upon you as young people to think through and innovate, figure out what's happening across the world, how can you apply it to solve the energy needs of Zimbabwe. So I'm putting this as a challenge for you guys to take everything you learned, the technology part, the policy side, the market demand side, and apply this to solve the challenges we're facing in Zimbabwe. Then of course the third thing is the issue of a just transition. Not just a just transition, but also a twin transition. What do we mean by a twin transition? We're looking at the role that energy has to play to accelerate the other SDGs. If you look at the role of energy for access to finance, the role of energy for access to water, to different things.
Among the accomplished IRENA I ACT peer trainers is Arupe Manyunga, who has ingeniously designed a solution to address energy challenges known as the Chigubu Lantern.
Chigubu Lantern, it's one of the solutions that was developed by Zambezi Arc Technologies. It's a solar-powered LED light that is made from LED lighting electronic waste and housed in plastic waste bottles that are normally used for beverages. Chigubu Lantern has created a social cause initiative that trains students and young people on how to make their own lights reusing waste. And under this training, students are taught on the basics of proper plastic waste management and also electronic waste management. And they are also taught on the basics of electricity, covering renewable energy as well, in a bid to aid and improve their knowledge on their fight against climate change.
As we conclude our exploration of the IRENA I ACT training, we have witnessed the remarkable efforts and innovative solutions developed by individuals like Arupe Manyunga. The Chigubu Lantern serves as a shining example of the transformative power of renewable energy. Youth around the world have a vital role to play in shaping the future of renewable energies. To take action, they can pursue education and training in sustainable technologies, engage in advocacy and awareness campaigns, and seek opportunities to collaborate with experts in the field. By embracing renewable energy, the youth can contribute to a cleaner and more sustainable world for generations to come. Together, let us empower the next generation to harness the power of renewable energy and pave the way towards a brighter and a greener future.